attainable luxury. These are the two words that best describe the Toyota Crown Signia. With its phenomenal exterior design, incredibly well-built interior, famous Toyota reliability, and a price point that perfectly fills the gap between common computers and luxurious cars, the Crown Signia has it all. And to make matters even better, the Crown Signia has been improved further for the upcoming model year. So let's not waste any time and see what's new with Toyota's most gorgeous SUV ever, as we check out how the all-new 2025 Toyota Crown Signia blows away the competition. Effortlessly gorgeous. The Toyota Crown Signia is undoubtedly the best-looking midsize SUV on the market today. It's just so effortless, so exquisite from every possible angle that we cannot help but be absolutely mesmerized by it. It's that type of car that people who love nice things in life but despise brands buy. Stealth wealth types. First of all, just look at that front end. Doesn't it look like something James Bond would drive? It's just a gorgeous amalgamation of Italian charm and English elegance. And it seems like Toyota managed to snatch the soul of both Aston Martin and the Ferrari Roma and combine it so elegantly that it leaves us jaw-dropped every time we see it. Just look at that grille design. Toyota could have easily gone with a regular mesh grille and no one would bat an eye, but no, they created a unique art piece. And what's even more impressive is that it also utilizes the same design language and cues from the newer Toyotas, like the Prius or the regular Toyota Crown, allowing it to fit neatly into the lineup. That's exactly how you utilize and mix various design languages to create both an incredibly gorgeous but still inoffensive vehicle. You know it's not a regular Toyota when you see it, but then again, you can't put your finger on the exact thing that makes it stand out from the others. That's what Volkswagen did with the Phaeton back in the 2000s to an even greater extent. The side profile of the vehicle only helps its understatedness and proves further that this is primarily a vehicle designed for practicality and not just looks. Toyota could have easily fitted a coupe-like roofline, akin to that found on the Porsche Cayenne Coupe, the BMW X6, or the Audi Q8, but no, they decided that practicality is king. As a result, you get a regular roofline, and this translates to a greater cargo area and more headroom in the back, which we'll tackle later. Finally, the Crown Signia's rear end follows closely the side and the front, and it looks incredibly bold thanks to its large bumper and tail license plate slot, but also incredibly sleek, courtesy of its thin taillight design. As a whole, the SUV reminds us of the recently released Ferrari Puro Sangue, just better. Unlike the Puro Sangue's flamboyant and overly compensating personality, with a more understated and less insecure. And saying that a car is more beautiful than a Ferrari, well, that's the ultimate compliment. Incredibly frugal. While the exterior of the Toyota Crown Signia feels positively alien to most Toyota buyers, the underpinnings of it are even more positively familiar. The Crown Signia lies on the well-known TNGA-K platform, which is the basis of many highly popular Toyotas, such as the Camry or the RAV4. This means that you'll find an already well-known powertrain underneath it, that being the 2.5-liter inline-4 engine combined with 2 electric motors. However, it makes a bit more HP than its more mainstream siblings, clocking out at 243 HP. And while this isn't that peppy, what it is extremely frugal. The Toyota Crown Signia can do up to 38 mpg around town and up to 37 mpg on the highway. And while this doesn't sound that impressive at first, it's monumental for the midsize SUV segment, as the Crown Signia is the absolute best in terms of frugality. Nothing can come close to it, and despite having only 240 HP, it can still do 0 to 60 in 7.0 seconds flat. Plus, it's one of the most well-proven powertrains in the history of the automotive industry. Seriously, if you find your way around breaking a 2.5 Toyota hybrid, you'll find your way around breaking an Anvil too. Solidly comfortable. One of the biggest trump cards for the Toyota Crown Signia is how comfortable it is. The suspension is properly soft, and because it is completely independent at the back and has McPherson struts at the front, the vehicle does tend to strike a good balance between being comfortable and engaging to drive. That said, it does lean towards comfort more, as its steering is a bit too numb and light for any kind of serious driver engagement. This level of comfort is amplified by the fact that it is a hybrid, and the vehicle is a bit heavier on both the front and rear axle, allowing it to absorb bumps with more grace than most other vehicles in its segment. In addition to that, the seats are extremely well padded and well profiled, thus creating a good combination of holding the driver in place while also being exceptionally comfortable. Now, is this the most comfortable vehicle in the world? No, it isn't, but it is properly comfortable nonetheless, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a vehicle in its segment that does comfort better. The only one we can think of is the Mercedes GLE, but it is almost 20 grand more than the Crown Signia. And frankly, you won't see it once you've sat in them, as both have a pretty similar interior in terms of quality. If anything, the Signia has a better interior in terms of quality in our opinion, which brings us to the next point: a class-leading interior. Just look at this gorgeous amalgamation of luxury and class. The Crown Signia has the best interior in its class, premium or regular. Just look at the abundance of leather that the vehicle has to offer, and that covers everything. The door trims, the dashboard, and the seats are all made out of or wrapped in genuine leather, which is something we expect only from vehicles like a Bentley, Maybach, or Rolls-Royce. It's evident why the Crown nameplate has such weight in Japan. Plus, it is also a perfect combination of technological advancement and tradition. You get a 12.3-inch infotainment screen and an equally as big digital gauge cluster, and yet, Toyota retains its tradition of offering physical controls and buttons. You get proper climate controls, a physical gear lever, and not some arbitrary buttons, and everything you touch feels pretty premium. The interior is literally on the same level as the Lexus RX, except the Signia offers much more space for a lesser price tag. You get 37.1 inches of legroom, as well as 38.9 inches of headroom, which is properly spacious. This is practically identical to the RX, which offers a little more legroom but also less headroom. However, you also get up to 68.9 cubic feet of cargo space, with the rear seats folded down, which is 20 more than the Lexus RX. You don't get an additional third row though. As for that, you'll have to upgrade, or rather downgrade, to the Toyota Highlander, which is bigger and cheaper than the Crown Signia. That brings us to the next point of the video: pricing and trim levels. As for the trims and pricing, the Toyota Crown Signia remains in character, keeping it brief and simple. There are only 2 trims on offer, and both of them are exceptional. The entry-level model is the Toyota Crown Signia XLE. Now, despite being an entry-level model, the XLE isn't exactly poverty spec. In fact, you get more kit on it than you would on many of the Signia's rivals' top models. You get leather seats as standard, a leather-wrapped dashboard, as well as a 12.3-inch infotainment screen and a digital driver's display. Oh, and did we mention that the front seats are both heated and ventilated front leather? As well as that, you get heated rear seats as standard. The exterior is also perfect, as you get 19-inch alloys and a choice of a wide array of colors. It puts to shame many premium vehicles that cost twice as much. And the price? The XLE starts from under $44,000, which is unbelievable. That said, the Limited is, in our opinion, an absolute no-go, as you get very little stuff for a noticeable price bump. It starts from around $48,000, and for that kind of money, you get a panoramic glass roof, 21-inch wheels, as well as other minor cosmetic and feature changes that are barely noticeable and would probably be never used anyway. Now sure, this is a pretty steep price tag, and the Hyundai Santa Fe and the Toyota Highlander might cost less and offer more. However, you will be getting a less comfortable, inferiorly built, and considerably uglier vehicle for that kind of money. The only real competitor that the Crown Signia has is the CX-70, and it'd be a tough call between the two, albeit we'd probably still go for the Crown Signia. That's how good it is. You have to stop looking at it from the perspective of a Toyota and start looking at it as a separate Crown brand, which is meant to border the gap between Lexus and Toyota.